I can also put this in a different way. People say you should live in God's will. If you live in God's will, you do not create karma. I agree. The only thing is, how do you know what is God's will? That's the important question. $1 million question is, isn't everything God's will? Isn't the whole show running with His will? Then why are you asking us to live in God's will? Don't we do everything under His will? Is not everything predetermined by God and His will? How are you going to distinguish between God's will and some other will that you're talking of? Very good question. The answer is, God Himself has divided the will into two. The two wills that He has divided is God's will and the mind's will. He's Himself distinguished it. He's made it available to us that you can have a positive will and you can have a negative will. And He's made it available in such a clear terms that what you do with your mind's bidding is negative will and mind's will. What you do without mind's bidding, without mind's telling you, is God's will. How could be anything more clear? Maulana Rumi, the great poet, he gives an example. He says, people ask me, what is God's will? And I wonder, don't they know? If He has placed a spade in your hand, He has expressed His will, dig. I would add, if He has placed a pen in your hand, hasn't He expressed His will, write? If He has created a circumstance around you to do something and you do it, hasn't He expressed His will? All this is God's will if you don't bring your mind into it. So if you respond to coincidences, sudden intuition, intuitive knowledge, and to circumstances and conditions around you, and look at the clues that these things contain, you're always doing God's will. But when the mind says, no, I don't like it, I want to do something else, and start deliberating on that, that's mind's will. Therefore, the masters say, live in the God's will or master's will. If you're not clear, the perfect living master says, if in a particular situation you are not clear, is this my mind's will or God's will, and you have a living master, consult him. He'll tell you, this is God's will, this is mind's will. He can clarify for you. If you don't have it in front of you, use email or telephone, other means of communication. Letters don't take so much time to travel as in Baba Jamal Singh's time. It doesn't take a month for a letter to travel. Many means to check it out. But the easiest way is if you're doing meditation and have got the master's form inside you, which stabilizes with the 5 words, you ask it directly there. You get the answer right there. Don't even have to email or write. So therefore, those who follow the mind's will, we call them manmukhs. That means followers of the mind. And those who follow the God's will or master's will, we call them gurmukhs, the follower of the guru or follower of the master. So therefore, the attempt to shift from being a manmukh to a gurmukh is part of the spiritual progress. And that's exactly what we should be doing. That we should be relying more and more on following the clues of the coincidences, circumstances, and sudden gut feelings that we get, rather than on the mind's thinking and planning and telling us, do this. If there's a clash and you think the two don't match, then you consult. Supposing there is difficulty in consulting the master, the matter is urgent, you have to take a decision. Then you do repeat the names of the master inside. Repeat the words of Simran. Master, this is urgent. I want answer now. And you get the answer. Everything has been prearranged for people who are living in the will of God. It's not difficult at all to know what it is. Just the mind will try to disturb you and try to take it to its own will. Your mind has been given that role. The mind is an obstructive role on the spiritual path. Unless the mind can be given something so delicious and wonderful and tastes good, then it will follow you. The mind is our greatest enemy in terms of going into the spiritual path, and is our greatest friend when it turns around and starts helping us in meditation. So therefore, the same enemy can become a friend through meditation, and you can actually experience it.